You've all heard of the Great Ocean Road, and this week on Drive, I take you there. Eventually. But there's a must-see route to tackle first. The Great Ocean Road is one of the most iconic driving destinations, and it's something that should be on everyone's to-do list. But sometimes getting there isn't as romantic, with slow-moving traffic and tour buses often taking the shine off the drive. But what if there was a way that you could enjoy the fun and beauty of an open road just with less traffic? Well, there is. We're going to take you to the Great Ocean Road, but through the Otway Ranges, and all while piloting a super chic Grand Tourer, the Lexus LC. The Otway Ranges are a must-see region, boasting historic forests and incredible outdoor adventures. It is also fast becoming a mecca for premium dining and fine life experiences. This Lexus will certainly fit in. My journey begins in Birregurra, taking off from Bray, one of Australia's most highly decorated fine dining institutions and very Instagrammable. Birregurra is located a bit under 2 hours from Melbourne, and the drive here couldn't be easier. Hit the M1 motorway in town, set the cruise control, and follow it all the way here. As you turn off the highway, keep an eye out for wildlife, as Birregurra means kangaroo camp in the First Nations language. I'll then trek south through the forest of Forest and continue the winding run to Skeens Creek. From there, it's a left turn to end up on the Great Ocean Road. The final destination? Lorne, a premium hub of the Surf Coast. As you've seen, I scored some flashy wheels. The Lexus LC500 is coming along for the ride, and this one's a hybrid. Some key highlights of this Lexus that assist with any journey include the premium 13-speaker Mark Levinson sound system, heated and cooled front seats, also electrically adjustable with memory function, and the plush ochre leather accented interior. It's cushy. Being a two-door coupe, the boot space isn't as big as what I'm used to for a road trip, but for this car, I was willing to sacrifice a few pairs of shoes. The heavy lifting is handled by a 3.5-litre 6-cylinder petrol-electric hybrid, producing a combined output of 264 kilowatts and 348 newton metres. That's mated to a 10-speed continuously variable transmission, and this Lexus is rear-wheel drive. And in case you wanted to know, the LC500 is also available with a naturally aspirated V8. Remember those? And while I won't be rolling around in a thumping V8, this is plenty of car for the journey I'm about to take. Head over to drive.com.au for all the latest information on the Lexus LC500H, pricing and specifications, as well as a full review of the car that I'm driving on this trip.
I got these fresh eyes, never seen you before like this. My God, you're beautiful. It's like the first time when we opened the door for we got used to usual. It might seem superficial, stereotypical man. You dress up just a little and I'm like, oh damn. So suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe that she's mine.
Now this is an LC, a luxury coupe, and Lexus claims 6.7 litres per 100 kilometres. That's a pretty bold claim, but let's see if we can get close to it.
I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe that she's mine. Yeah, and now all I see is you with fresh eyes, fresh eyes.
After the break, it's just me and the LC, bound for the Surf Coast. It's time to drive. I'm on the way to Lorne, but I'm starting with a bit of a detour, a worthy one, through the Otway Ranges. The Great Otway National Park covers some 1,000 square kilometres between Torquay and Cape Otway along the Victorian surf coast. Our drive, which splits the park right down the middle, starts with open farmland but gradually climbs as we work our way into the rainforest. This car screams, "Take me for a fun road trip," and that's exactly what we're going to do. I mean, it's a grand tour after all. It's stunning. It really is a head turner, and I promise it packs plenty of punch. The drive from Birregurra to Lorne would usually take around half an hour, but we've added some time to that trip, taken a bit more of a scenic route, and it is ideal for this kind of car.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song.
So we all know that the outside of this car is absolutely exquisite, but have a look at the interior too. This is the kind of place that you want to be for a couple of hours of driving ahead. I feel like I'm sitting in a first-class cabin in an Emirates A380 or even inside a Birkin bag. I mean, there is leather everywhere, these big curved doors and Alcantara trimming throughout. It is opulence at its best.
I don't know if I could ever go without watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
Now, this cabin doesn't come without its quirks, because if you have driven a Lexus before, you'll know that you have to navigate things using the haptic system, although, good news, it's not in the modern day Lexuses, thank God. One other thing that I have to make mention of, this car has a disc player. When was the last time you popped a CD into your stereo? Something else worth noting about this Lexus is that it comes with ample safety, including blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Very handy in a small car like this one. There's also collision warning with autonomous emergency braking, active lane keep assist, and adaptive cruise control, which won't be getting a workout, seeing as though this road trip is thankfully free of highway stints. Fun fact, the Lexus SC430 was actually the last car that went on sale with an inbuilt cassette player. Maybe this will follow on in its footsteps. Only time will tell.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening.
Wow, this is actually spectacular. At the moment, there's this beautiful mist going across the hills. There are glimpses of the water through the forest as well. The scenery is absolutely stunning. I really am happy that I spent the time to come this way, a way that I didn't even know existed. And I think the best part is that I'm pretty much doing it alone, because I've hardly seen any cars at all along this route. I've now completed the trip from Birregurra to Forest, a beautiful run through the countryside with rolling hills in the distance, and just 20 minutes of driving before reaching the very first pit stop in Forest. Because who doesn't need sugar to assist on a drive? In this instance, it's a stop off for fine chocolates at Plasher Pie Chocolate. Located in Forest, it's the perfect place to treat yourself. And that I did. I ate chocolate, I drank chocolate, and took plenty away with me. Well, that should hype me up for the next stint. Forest is a bustling village known as the gateway to the Otways. It's also renowned for its premier mountain bike trails, lakes and waterfalls, and is one hell of a drive. Photos don't do this place justice, but I took a few anyway. The Lexus Toyota hybrid system is a real treat in that it's plugless, no fuss, and essentially does all the work for you. Another great thing, no range anxiety, because if you are heading out this way, charging still has its real challenges. Lexus has been offering hybrid options since 2005, when the first RX400H SUV hit the market globally. Since then, over 2.2 million Lexus hybrids have been sold around the world. In Australia,
hybrids make up almost 40% of all Lexus sales.
Pulling for some gas. Officially placed a poster, reveals a smile from the pack. Elephants and acrobats, lion snakes.
At the moment, I'm travelling from Forest to Skeens Creek, and Forest, well, it's aptly named. We're essentially driving through a forest. It is very scenic, it's very quiet too, and that's exactly what we wanted. I haven't seen a car in quite some time. And you know what? The Lexus is absolutely loving these twists and turns.
Every time I look around, every time I look around,
Every time I look around.
every time I look around, it's in my face.
Now this is the part of the journey where you want to do this. Sport Plus mode, engage those paddle shifters, really focus on carving up these dramatic bends.
Choppers in the sky. Marines, police, reporters ask where, far and wide. Belly out, we're out of here. Seen us feel right on. Making moves.
I don't know who's having more fun, me or the LC.
Headed for big lights. Wanna know
Woo.
the rest? Hey, by the rights, how bizarre.
If you thought the climb to the forest was fun, the final descent towards the coast sees the road drop over 500 metres in elevation in less than 10 kilometres.
I'm about an hour into my journey here at Skeens Creek at an intersection where I have a decision to make. If I turn right, I'll be heading towards South Australia and past the famous 12 Apostles. But I've been there, done that. So I'm going to make a left and venture towards Lorne, a premium hub of the Surf Coast. It's also, more importantly, a beautiful driving stretch, and I should be going against traffic.
Up next, it's time to carve up one of the most iconic roads, and I have a feeling the LC is going to enjoy it. Welcome back. I've taken a longer route to get to the Great Ocean Road. Next stop, the stunning seaside town of Lorne.
Wish I knew which button to push, then I'd know how to please you. It's sad but true.
I'm now on the Great Ocean Road, and we definitely chose one of the best stretches to drive along. I mean, the views are out of this world. Beautiful beaches, mountains everywhere. I mean, I've been slowed down a couple of times, but that doesn't matter because it's given me the chance to look out at these incredible views. It really is amazing.
It's a road you've surely heard of. The Great Ocean Road clutches seaside cliffs that meander along the windswept Southern Ocean. The views are incredible, and no matter how many times you've seen them, they still manage to take your breath away. The road was constructed by soldiers returning from the First World War between 1919 and 1932. There's a memorial arch that celebrates these workers, as well as those who lost their lives in the war, where the road starts in Anglesea. It makes the road even more special, as its entire 240-kilometre length is considered the world's largest war memorial. The Lexus LC couldn't enjoy this drive more. Lexus has become renowned for its refinement, and that's exactly what the car delivers, a sophisticated drive. This Grand Tourer soaks up every twist and turn, with no fidgeting and handling exactly like you want it. Precise to the point of perfection.
I am almost in Lorne, which is perfect timing really because I'm almost out of chocolate. Now the LC has been my lone companion, and great choice by me because it has made the drive so much more entertaining.
I've been hearing symphonies. Before all I heard was silence. A rhapsody for you and me. And every melody is timeless. for stringing me along.
For those who aren't familiar with Lorne, it's the Noosa or Byron Bay of the Surf Coast, a picturesque seaside town that's really come into its own. Lorne is full of luxury accommodation, great food, and is also known to be a popular surfing destination. It's a must-stop spot if you're driving along the Great Ocean Road.
And when you're gone, I feel incomplete. So if you want the
Well, it seems I made all the right decisions. A slight detour, some added time, but well worth it for the great stops and incredibly fulfilling drive piloting some sweet wheels. The reward? This right here, a gem of the surf coast. And while my journey can be done in a day, I'm going to soak it up for as long as I possibly can. So I'll leave you to enjoy the magical sunset, but I have a dinner reservation with my name on it.
As if I could go past one of the best burgers in town. This will do me just fine.
I never thought I'd find this feeling.
Oh, and one last snap for the gram.
Before all I heard was silence.
That hit the spot. And I'm not just talking about the burger.
Every melody is timeless.
What an epic journey. Want to head along the same route? After the break, I'll show you how to get there. I've taken the road less travelled and ended up in Lorne. This place is right up my alley.
Lately I found when I start to think aloud, there's a longing in the sound. There is more I could be. In darkness I leave for a place I've never seen. It's been calling out to me. That is where I should be.
Now, I already told you about Lexus's claim of 6.7 litres per 100 kilometres, and I have to say, we're actually not that far away from that. I've been driving this rather enthusiastically. Probably the most impressive part, though, is that I drove a lot around Melbourne before I headed on this trip, and I have clocked up plenty of Ks too, but I'm yet to fill up the tank, which is real-world efficiency.
On we march with a midnight song. We will light our way with our lanterns on.
I have to say that was a pretty incredible journey. Now, it's almost winter in Victoria, but I lucked in with some pretty sensational weather. Also, I can't believe that I don't come out here more often. I mean, this is in my own backyard. I think I'll be returning soon.
Down in the light that we have found, it is finally clear.
I departed from Melbourne and trekked west to Birregurra. The drive from Birregurra to Forest is only around 20 minutes. I then continued south along the winding roads to Skeens Creek. It's then a left turn along the iconic Great Ocean Road, one of the greatest stretches of tarmac, with the final stop at Lorne. For more information on pricing and specifications, head to drive.com.au. Plus, get all the details for this drive by scanning the QR code on your screen or visiting us online. Next week on the show, James heads to the stunning Pyrenees region of Victoria in a Mercedes-Benz C-Class and a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. That's next week on Drive.